Let's go for a very fast tour in the phases that makes up the creation of a 3D project. I make this video for those that have no idea of the process to create a 3D movies or TV series or commercial. This process is classified in 3 different stages: pre-production, production, and post-production. So the first stage is pre-production. When a concept, the idea of the project, is approved, we have the permission to move forward. This is a phase called green light. The green light is a term used to officially approve a project and means go ahead. In the pre-production, we have these main distinct phases: screenplay, character environment design, storyboard, vocal tracks, 3D asset modeling, texturing, rigging, animation test, and schedule and planning. Let's see some example of these steps. Screenplay. One or more screenwriters are in charge to write a script for the project. In the screenplay, we have the narrated story, the dialogues, the actions, and the descriptions of the environment. This is just an example, the beginning of a screenplay I made for my TV series for kids. We have the project title, in this case it's Puppet House, the number of the episode, the title of the episode. The scene hidden is a short description of the location and the time of the day of the sequence. Action description is a narrative description of what happens in the scene. Dialogues, we have the name of the character and his own speech. Character environment design. Now it's time to define the design, the aspect of the characters and the environments and props. The concept artists create illustrations and sketches with different design for the characters and everything that needs to be defined in terms of design. Storyboard. In this step, the storyboard artists create a visual description of the entire project divided by sequence and scenes. So this is an example of a blank storyboard sheet, and here we have a field 1. This is just the first page with the first 3 scenes. Here we have the title or the logo of the project, the number of the episode, the title of the episode, the number of the sequence. So in this case, these are all scenes from the same sequence. Let's quickly see the difference between a sequence and a scene. A scene is a part of the story with a specific camera take. Anytime the camera framing change, we have a new shot. So until you don't see a cut in the camera, it's the same scene. A group of scenes compose a sequence, and this sequence takes place in a determinate location and time of the day. When we have a change in the location or time, we have a new sequence. But as you can see, the number of the scenes is still progressive. So here we have sequence and scenes. We also have the number of the frames. So this is the length of the scene. We have the visual illustrations, a detailed image that show the shot, the camera take, the character actions into the location. Dialogues, we can have some camera notes. In this case, for example, we have a track in and it's represented in the storyboard. And we can also have some sound effects notes. For example, in this shot, we need the sound of the rain. Vocal tracks. It's time to record the dialogues. A cast of voice actors dub the script so that we will have a voice track to use for the production. 3D asset modeling. The design is approved, so we can go forward to create the 3D models. Using a 3D modeling software, the modelers start to literally sculpt the mesh, following the design based on the illustration of the concept artist. 3D asset texturing. In this phase, a texture artist creates the texture, the surface that will be applied on the character. He creates this 2D image, for example, with software like Photoshop. After that, this image will be assigned to a material, which in turn will be assigned to the mesh. Asset rigging. Once the modeler is done, the rigger can start to create the skeleton, the rig for the character. He had chains of bones, joints attached to the mesh, so that in the animation phase we will be able to move the character. So now we can select the controls of each part of the body and we can start to pose the character. Animation test. Time for some animation. The animator starts to test the rig and create some animations like cycles or acting or expression test. And this phase is important to choose and set the style of the animation. Scheduling planning. Before start the production, we need a planning to set the deadlines and the plan that will guide the team during the production. In this way, we can decide the time that we will need to finish the project. Now let's see all the main steps of the production: layout, animation, lighting, and rendering. Layout. Using the storyboard as a reference, the layout artists create a 3D version of the storyboard. So they start to create all the single shots, setting the camera, import all the characters and the locations that the scene require. Then we have animation. Is split into different steps: blocking and refine. During the blocking step, the animators create some main poses of the characters so that they can start to set the timing, the expression, the poses, and the actions of the character. When the blocking is approved, we move to the refine process. Here we take all the poses curves we created for the blocking and we can go to polish the curves and finish our animation. Lighting. We need to place some lights in the shots. The lighting artists will do that. They will decide the illumination of the scenes, the light's properties, the shadows, and so on. Rendering, the last process of the production, the render artist will convert the three-dimensional data into a high-quality 2D image. So we go to create a sequence of images with what we have done before, everything in the highest quality. Post-production, the last process, the post-production, it's finalized to take together what we have done in the production and basically edit, cut, add effects, adjust everything for the final export. Compositing, the process where all the renders, the images of the project are combined together and the compositors start to adjust colors, light, add in effects in order to deliver optimized final images for the project. Video editing, now the editor proceeds to assemble all the videos clips together. In this phase, we can cut scenes depending on the request of the director and we can add transitions, fade effects and so on. Sound editing, the same for this process. The sound designer fix, adjust, add and edit the audio, music and sound effects. Export, now the project is done, everything is finished with the approval of the directors and producers and we can export the final project. Okay, let's sum up the main job titles. Director, the lead of the project, the screenwriter in charge to write the script, the art director, the person that is responsible for the visual art of the project, concept artist, mainly responsible to deliver the 2D concept and assets, storyboard artist, the one who transforms the script into the illustration, project manager, who manages the team, who take care that everybody are aligned, that create the planning and take care that all the deadlines are respected and a lot of other responsibilities. Then the last figures we have seen, modeler, texture artist, rigger, layout artist, animation supervisor, the one who supervises what the animators produce, animators, render artist, sound designer, compositor, and editor. And that is all.